What is up there, LEGO fans? Welcome back, Alex here. In this video, we're going to be doing a build and review of the newly announced Speed Champions 007 Aston Martin DB5. That is right, LEGO is expanding their Speed Champions theme into the movie franchises. So we have this, as well as the 1970 Dodge Charger RT from the Fast and Furious franchise. When I first saw that these were announced, I thought, wait a minute. Doesn't LEGO already have much larger and better versions of these? In fact, right here, I have the Aston Martin DB5 that is, of course, a lot larger, full of fun, awesome gadgets, including ejector seat. So if I have this beast, why on earth would I want to buy this little guy? Well, I guess the first thing that comes to mind, is pretty obvious, is that price. Well, this is going to be a lot more expensive, so I guess this is the more affordable version of the DB5. Now, beyond the cost, there were two things about the Speed Champions version that I thought were pretty darn cool, and that is, of course, the minifigure. The minifigure in this is actually supposed to be James Bond. Now, it's based off of the actor Daniel Craig, but it's James Bond nonetheless. We don't get some boring, average Joe driver in our Aston Martin DB5. I would have loved, for example, if LEGO actually gave us the real racing driver to the Mercedes-Benz team, namely Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, even George Russell. But I get that those are real people, and of course, Ian Fleming's James Bond is fictional, and that makes it a little bit easier. I also noticed that in the picture, it's just the car. There's no massive apparatus with lights hanging on it to simulate a starting grid. There's no toolbox with a wrench that you're going to lose immediately. I love that LEGO just threw that out the window and gave us what we really want, and that is just the car. Now, obviously, it won't have the crazy features that its big brother has right here, but I'm willing to bet that this little guy has a few secrets of its own. So let's go ahead and get started. And we are back, and here is our 8-stud wide Speed Champions DB5 based off of the James Bond movies. All right, guys, a couple things that I want to talk about this thing. First and foremost, when I open up the instructions here, you put James Bond together first, and guess what they have him holding? He's holding a wrench. James Bond has a wrench. I was a little puzzled by that. I thought that was a pretty big stretch for playability there because, as you guys know, in all the James Bond movies, James Bond always has a wrench on his person because he's constantly working on his vehicle. Oh my goodness, that was just kind of strange to me, but whatever. There's another wrench that we'll throw in our junk pile and never use again. But anyway, as far as the minifigure himself, he looks fantastic. I think he does look very much like Daniel Craig, the actor. So that is our James Bond. And you know what? I'm a little conflicted because I really want to put him in my display case and say that's my James Bond minifigure rather than put him in the Aston Martin DB5. Always with Speed Champion builds, you are going to get a decent number of stickers, and the Aston Martin is no exception to that. Now, I will say I think it's fewer than many that I've actually put together, and one thing that I will point out is that you do get a lot of extra options on a license plate, one of those being the BMT 216A, which I believe was indigenous to the Sean Connery era Aston Martin DB5. But in any case, what you can do here is you have 8 additional 1x3 chrome tiles that you can use to interchange your license plate. So my recommendation is use the stickers that you're going to use on your Aston, and then you've got 8 really cool free tiles that you can use for other projects. At least that's how I would look at this. But there are some printed elements on here as well. You have the rear lights, and you have the headlights, and of course you have the glass piece, or the plastic glass piece, where the whole rear is really nice and printed, but the grille is printed as well. And I thought that was a little puzzling to me because it looks pretty complex, and it's actually 2 elements that bring up that grille. So those 2 pieces together, I guess, are going to be pretty rare items because together they make the grille of the Aston Martin DB5. Now, what about little features with the Aston? Well, I gotta say that with it being so small, it's really hard to put anything in here that moves, right? But I will say, I really love that the designer put in a rear seat in this thing. I thought that was pretty cool that they were able to actually fit that. And of course, this is right-hand drive, very true to the movie, and you get this little handle here for the seat adjustment, which I assume moves it forward so you can hop into the back seat, which, to be honest, looks a little bit cramped, but really cool that they fit that in there nonetheless. Now, of course, I couldn't help but to compare it to its big brother here, and when I do a side-by-side comparison, I gotta say, in some angles, the Speed Champion version looks a little bit better, in some cases a lot better, I would say, than its big brother here. So kudos to the designer in capturing the essence of the DB5. I especially loved the detail of the hood scoop here at the front. Love how that all came together very, very well. A lot of very small details and really unique building techniques really make this thing come together. It's amazing. Every single one of these Speed Champion sets are so unique and detailed in their own right. That is going to be my review on the new Speed Champions 007 Aston Martin DB5. A huge thanks to LEGO in providing me an early copy for review. This will be available from LEGO as of August 1st. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.